it's a bit rolly. We have left Haugesund about an hour ago, and we're heading to Hardangerfjord. But yeah, there was really no wind in the beginning, and the wind wasn't that favorable today, and it was rather light, so I just picked a inner route close to the shoreline to save some miles, because yeah, it's just old sea rolling and there's no wind to drive the boat. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough wind to sail, and it was pretty much dead on the bow, so I would have had to go out quite a bit and then tack back into Hardangerfjord. So to save a bit on time and so on, I decided to just cut through the inner route of the area that we are in, and this area is called Sletto. It is this is mainland Norway, and this is just some small islands or skerries on the outside of them of Norway, and beyond that you'll find some oil rigs and England. So we are basically on the edge of the North Sea here, but there's no wind, it's just waves, and when we get this close to the shoreline you get the return waves. So it's a bit unpredictable and rolly, so it's a bit like a washing machine. But yeah, the temperature is about 8 degrees or 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. Wind is almost non-existent. Perhaps we'll get to sail when we point our nose into Hardangerfjord, because then the swells are going to be gone, so we can utilize this light wind. Otherwise, it's not much to report. I hope to be doing some sailing in a bit when we get out of this washing machine. A new update: we have entered Hardangerfjord, and the waves is rolling in the fjord from the ocean outside, but if you look at the waves, there is absolutely no wind. It is just rolling. So yeah, I'm gonna continue using the motor for a while more. So it's a bit shameful, but yeah, that's the way it is. But of course, this is a shakedown cruise, so it's a good thing that the engine gets to run a bit as well. So there is a bit of a smell coming from the engine, and I can't find any reason for that, but I believe it's just when the engine has been serviced. I think there was a bit of oil spill on it, and also when I replaced the oil on the sail drive, I also spilled a bit of oil, but I cleaned that up really well, so that should not be the cause of this smell, but it smells a bit like that. But there is no oil collecting under the engine, there's no sign of leaks, but I can see there is oil in the small cracks everywhere, which is basically a telltale mark of spilling when trying to fill oil on the engine. So I believe that is the cause for it, because this engine uses oil that is a bit smelly. So yeah, it's the same oil that's on the sail drive, so it's a heavy lubricant oil for heavy machinery. So yeah, that's I believe that is the reason for it. It's no smell, no smoke, no heat coming from anything special. So, and the engine is running nice and cool. I don't have a temperature gauge for the engine, but I have a heat source that's drawing heat from the coolant of the engine, and that is nice and comfortable. So it's not really hot. So yep, I guess that is it. So it's a good thing. Driving the motor for a bit, seeing how stuff works, charging up the batteries. We're gonna stay on anchor tonight. Last night we spent on anchor, I didn't have any heat on. It was freezing cold. So tonight when I was moored up in Haugesund, I disconnected the shore power and I turned off all the electric stuff on the boat except from the heater, and I measured the voltage on the battery this morning, and I had 12.7 volts on the house bank battery. So and then it's been burning all night, so I figured that was a good sign. And also the starting battery was the same as it was the night before, so it's no sign of any problems with running the heater. So tonight we'll keep the heater on, the low setting, while at anchor all night, and stay nice and comfy inside. I've found a nice anchorage, really protected no matter what the weather should be like, so looking forward to going there. It doesn't look pretty, but it's one heck of a lot better than motoring. If you look at the water around me, there is small wrinkles, and the water is totally flat. So we are trying to just, yeah, we don't want to listen to the engine anymore. So look at this. It's not pretty, but that is the best we can do. The speed is 0.5 knots, but there's almost a knot of current against us, and that's going to turn soon. So yeah, it is at least moving without motoring. So, and the weather has become beautiful, really nice. Sun it's not that warm, but these clothes are starting to get a bit much. So we are going to try and keep this sail configuration as long as we can. We'll see how long this is going to last, but hopefully we're going to have some nice breeze for the rest of the afternoon. We skipped the anchorage that we were planning on going to, because we arrived there at 1:15. So we just decided to keep on going, see if we could find some wind, so we got some sailing done at least. But this is the scenery. And that is not bad at all. There is really light winds, and as you can see from these two buoys out here, the current is not favorable. I guess we're fighting about an out of current, but at this point we are winning. But when we were sailing back here, we were struggling for the most part. We were going sideways and backwards at the same time, and still making way through the water in the direction that we were steering. So yeah, it's not always yeah, easy to make headway, but we try to do our best, and we are really just here to sail a bit if we can. This island is Stord, and the city in front there is Leirvik, not Leirvik, which is at Shetland, at Leirvik. It's almost the same name. They are building ships here and stuff for the oil industry. So that has been a big industrial part of the Western Norwegian society for many years. There's no real plans, we're just moving along. The only plan is heading in the fjord. So I'll give you an update later. It's been a good bit of sailing when the wind finally filled in a little bit. So it's not crazy much wind, but enough to do some good sailing at getting to trim the sails a bit and play around with the boat. So that's been good. So now the sun is just setting. Time is 5 minutes to 6 in the afternoon or evening, and we are going a bit further out here, and we're gonna turn into Leirvik Harbor.